Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
So what if I'm maidenless?
No shame in it.
You're right. There is no shame in it. I can become the Elden Lord all by myself. I don't need a maiden's guidance.
Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Roundtable Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity. Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me.
Fuck you, Vari.
You even compliment very well. You mistake kindness for frailty of heart, you maidenless runt.
Well, let's get started then. Welcome to my first maidenless run of Elden Ring. This one goes out to all my fellow maidenless tarnished out there. The plan was simple. I picked Samurai because they have some of the best starting gear and stats, and I chose the Cracked Pot because I knew I was going to be one shot later in the game anyway. It's better to use consumable items because that's the only gear I'm going to be able to use effectively. Being maidenless is more restricting than you might think. Not only am I not able to level up during this run, but I will not be able to have access to Torrent either. I want to be clear that this is not a speedrun. This is to understand how it affects the story and Melina.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord.
No.
I understand. I'm asking you to put faith in but a stranger.
Yeah, kinda weird. Anyway, this is about the time I realized that when going back to the Church of Ele, Ranni the Witch would not be there to give me my spirit calling bell. Even worse, I don't think Melina would be too willing to invite me to Roundtable Hold after I rejected her. It seemed like the next best course of action for me was to go gather some upgrade materials for my katana. I wanted to grab some runes while I was in here as well, just so I could stock up on some arrows going into my fight with Margit. And here he is, the Fell Omen himself. I decided to summon Roger because I'm gonna need every advantage I can get in this run. I don't have a lot of experience fighting Margit as I beat him on my first try, being way too overleveled in my first run. But I never thought of him as a very difficult enemy. He has such long wind-ups and he can be staggered super easily. You fought well, Margit. Pour one out for the last king. Beat him in 3 tries. Hey Vari, how am I doing?
You maidenless runt.
Well. Melina, do you have anything to say to me?
Have you reconsidered my
No, I said no. Can you just take me to the round table?
me by grace?
No? Well, off to Caelid then.
You are maidenless.
Maidenless. I can play the role of maiden.
You are fated to die in obscurity.
You need only take me with you.
Alright, well that's that. I unlocked a couple more merchant locations along the way so I can buy fire and poison arrows, but the reason I came here is for Radagon's Sword Seal. This talisman gives me +5 to all of my physical stats, albeit I take 10% more damage, but the vigor I gain more than makes up for it. With 20 effective levels gained, we're gonna head back to Stormveil and make our way to Godrick. I was having a bit of a rough time, but I got my hands on some claws that I think might be good for fighting Godrick later. This playthrough really made me appreciate the design of Godrick's castle. Using all the tools available to me was a lot more fun than actually fighting these birds. Finally, I made my way to Godrick. In my first playthrough, I beat Godrick in just 3 tries, so I wasn't too worried. Okay, so, yeah, I was having a bit of a rough time. I was gonna need to bring out every weapon in my arsenal. Phase 1, claws to get the bleed proc off. Phase 2, proc some poison with my short bow. Phase 3, poke him down with my Uchi Katana. And then Phase 4, finish him off with the longbow. We did it, everyone. We acquired our first great rune. We're one step closer to becoming the Elden Lord. We're done here. Well, off to Liurnia then. It's pretty far without Torrent. While I was out here, I decided to hit up my boy Iji to give me some better upgrades for my weapon. You know, being at Caria Manor got me thinking. I wasn't able to get the Spirit Calling Bell from Ranni earlier, but maybe I can get it from her now. I just had one small problem. Loretta. The whole point of my katanas and claws was to bleed enemies. Loretta's completely immune to those. They're also immune to poison and resistant to weapon greases. I just have to say that this boss absolutely kicked my ass, way more than Godrick. I didn't have any strategy or tools to exploit weaknesses. I just had to simply get good. And good, I indeed got. This boss took me well over an hour. I even had to change armor for it. But now, we can go see the Lady Ranni and obtain our Spirit Calling Bell. I was prepared to fight a doula to get in, but it appears that you can just sneak past them. This is what I've been waiting for. The Spirit Calling Bell will make the game 10 times easier. It's our key to defeating late game bosses. Please, Lady Ranni. I may be maidenless, but I am worthy to become Elden Lord.
A tarnished here. Thou must have some business in mind to come all this way, though I have no memory of inking thee an invitation.
The bell, I want the bell.
No reason in particular thou claimest. Intriguing. Then mayhaps fate hath steered thee to this encounter. Wilt thou enter into my service?
No, I must remain maidenless. Are you telling me I can't get the summoning bell? Oh no. Why did I come all this way? Just to suffer? I fought so hard. Am I ever going to be able to beat this game? Without a maiden? I don't know. But I have to keep trying. Because if I don't, who will? I mean, Iron Pineapple did. But I can too. Without glitches. Subscribe for part 2.